We were working in a construction site doing cleaning jobs.
Hold on.
Yes.
You came from Kenya?
Yes.
From working at a bank?
Yes. To a construction site cleaning.
To cleaning at a construction?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, make me understand.
Yes. You see, when you first arrive, they still don't know anything about you. You have no history. You have no work experience.
You are nobody.
You have nothing. So you start from the bottom. Everybody starts from the bottom.
Yeah.
Yes. By the time he entered management, I think they added pressure on him. So he was traveling. And the pressure was too much for him. So he switched off his phone, got into the car, and drove all the way from Nairobi to Kisumu. And stayed there for 3 days without switching on his phone. So when he talked to me, he said, George, I just couldn't take it anymore. I had reached my death. These people are not giving me time to rest. Someone who wants to die, why do they go to the office, schedule a meeting, book a room upstairs? Why would they do that? Why would they make plans for the weekend? Why would they do that? That's why we started suspecting, is there a foul play? Ama alisukumwa.
Hello, good morning, and a warm welcome to this episode of LNS. My name is Lynn Ngugi. Now, when a senior manager at PricewaterhouseCoopers in Nairobi allegedly jumped from the 17th floor, people in Kenya and the entire world were shocked. Majority of them asked why, who could have done this to him, who pushed him, why could he not talk to someone? Well, some people obviously assumed he was done with life. But we have to understand that suicide among men is at a higher stake, or iko huko juu, but majority of the people do not talk about it. And for the first time, the brother to the man who allegedly jumped from that floor is here with us, and he felt the need to come and for the first time open up about his brother's passing, but most importantly to tell us the kind of person his brother was, so that majority of you can help us in maintaining his legacy. I'm about to let him introduce himself, but before I do that, you all know our shows in the UK are continuing, and I can't do these episodes without the amazing support of our amazing host Lydia Tet Olet. And now, without further ado, please allow me to let my guest today introduce himself. Good morning.
Good morning, Lynn.
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Ko salama.
Niko salama by God's grace.
Amen. Yeah, I am, even before you can introduce yourself, I'm honored for even your willingness to have this conversation with me. I know it's a hard one, and it's been a hard one for the family, but I just like the fact that you have said my brother's legacy has to live on. And for the first time today, people are going to hear things about your brother that they've never heard of. So just to tell you, thank you for taking your time, and we do not take that for granted. Now, as they would say in the UK, please introduce yourself. Did you hear anything? Introduce yourself.
Thank you. Yeah, my name is George Waore.
Yeah.
I'm a Christian.
Yes.
I have a wife called Catherine Kibe.
Yeah.
3 children. I'm an accountant by profession. My side hustle is Bible teaching.
Oh, yeah?
And preaching. So in a nutshell, that is me. I'm one of 6.
Yes.
So my father used to work at Kenya Medical Research Institute, KEMRI, and my mother was a primary school teacher for all her life, almost 50 years.
Yeah.
Now I'm a third born. So we got 4 boys and 2 girls.
Yes.
So I think that's about me. So I came to the UK almost over 20 plus years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yes, I used to work in Kenya at the Cooperative Bank.
Okay.
And then after the bomb blast, that's when I traveled
to the UK.
to the UK.
Can I ask you something? Does the accent switch depending on who you're talking to?
Yes.
Okay.
So this is the accent. This is my normal accent.
All right.
Yes. So if I was in Kenya,
Yes.
yani ningekuwa naongea tu hivi kama Mkenya.
Indio style.
Ndio.
But now
But
for
now
here,
because I'm in the UK now,
Yeah.
I have to speak like someone who is in England.
like a true Briton.
True Brit.
So water is water.
Whereas water, yes. So
Latte is lae.
lae, yeah, in it, yeah.
Ine.
Yeah, so Lynn, the first time I came to the UK, when I heard that I was coming to the UK, I said to myself, I'm going to where English started.
Okay.
So I bought a dictionary.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I bought a dictionary, came to the UK, landed in East London. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, East London, they speak something called Cockney. So this guy, we were working in a construction site doing cleaning jobs.
Hold on.
Yes.
You came from Kenya?
Yes.
From working at a bank?
Yes. To a construction site cleaning.
To cleaning at a construction?
Yes.
Okay, make me understand.
Yes. You see, when you first arrive, they still don't know anything about you. You have no history. You have no work experience.
You are nobody.
You have nothing. So you start from the bottom. Everybody starts from the bottom.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
that's where I started.
Yeah.
Yeah. So working in this construction site, sweeping, and I had a supervisor, and he used to tell me, George, what's the matter? What's the matter, mate? So I go to the dictionary and look for mate. And I can't find this mate. Okay, I can't find it. Okay. So
what's the matter, mate?
Yeah, what's the matter, mate?
Yeah.
Then I asked him, so his name was Eddie. Eddie, so what are you talking about? What are you talking about? So me, I'm speaking my Kenyan accent. What are you talking about? Huh?
No.
You are my boss. No. I'm not a boss. I'm your governor, you see. I'm your governor. So governor. Unajua governor ni wale wamesimamia counties. So
I did not see this part coming. I'm your governor.
Yeah,
So you're still struggling with what the map?
Yes.
What's the map, mate?
I could not follow.
Yeah.
Kumbe hao watu waongei kizungu. They are talking Cockney.
Okay.
Yes. So I took my dictionary and hid it. Because I was speaking better English than him.
Yeah.
Yes.
So finally you got to understand. It was like, what's the matter,
yes,
mate?
Yes. So I found to, I got to understand actually what is the matter, my friend.
Okay.
Yes.
So your governor was really hard to understand.
Yes.
Man, who could they call them governor?
Yes.
See, supervisor, my boss.
It's governor. It's governor.
Nabaki yuku.
Yes.
Okay. All right, good.
So that is how we started.
Yes.
And because my background is accounts,
Yes.
so I managed to do some voluntary work in a charity.
Yeah.
Then I started right at the bottom. And I also worked in Kenya. I worked in hotel. I was with the Serenas. I used to work in the Mara as in accounts.
Wow.
Worked with Kemri. I was on accounts there. Then worked with the bank. Then when when the bomb blast happened, I was working there in the foreign exchange department next to the American embassy. So in fact, that morning I had gone in to pick some money and gone out, and the blast hit. And the following day was my wedding.
Oh, wow.
Yes. The following day
Sorry,
was my
guys,
wedding.
I was just looking at the wife because she's right here. Yeah.
She almost missed her husband. God. So when they declared curfew, I cancelled the reception and almost cancelled the wedding. But my pastor said, no, George, you are my friend. This is a private gathering. So we went to church privately and then went to his house for reception. Okay, and that's how I had my wedding.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And now because of all those things that happened, all the restructuring after the bomb blast, you know, some of us got laid off. And that's why I came to the UK.
To the UK.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You can now send money to Kenya at great rates and with zero transfer fees. Trust TapTap for convenient, safe and fast transactions to M-Pesa and to Kenyan bank accounts. Download today and get a bonus on your first transfer.
So you hustled your way.
I hustled my way. And for 20 years I've been hustling. Some of my kids are born here.
Yeah.
Yes.
You have 3 kids.
I have 3 kids.
Yes.
When I was in Kenya,
Yeah.
because you see I got married with the bomb blast.
Yes.
Then my wife gave birth.
Yeah.
When my son was 1 month old is when I traveled to the UK.
Whoa.
So I left a boy there who is 1 month old.
And the mom.
And the mom. Then I came over and started hustling with this cleaning job.
Yes.
I sent money to her after 3 months. Come over. So she came over and she could not come with the child. Huh?
Yeah. So the child is 4 months.
Yes.
Now she left the child.
Yes. With her sister.
Wow.
Yes. With her sister.
That's a sacrifice.
It is a sacrifice.
Yeah.
So we came here and hustled together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And mukapigana na maisha.
Tukapigana na maisha.
Yeah.
Until now we brought our son.
Yeah.
Gave birth to 2 other girls in here.
Yes.
And now they are grown up.
Yeah.
The son is in university. My daughter is a chef in central London.
Wow.
The other one is doing 6th form.
Okay.
She might go to university next year.
All right.
Yes.
So 6th form is where they don't wear uniform.
Yes.
Hapo ndio umefanyishwa shopping ukajua ujui.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So,
Kusa ni show off.
so wardrobe sasa ni ingine.
Okay.
Yes.
That's good. How is it like bringing your family up in here in the UK?
It's very challenging when you're on your own. It's very, very challenging because ni sisi tu, ni mimi na bibi yangu tu. And below a certain age, huwezi waacha peke yake.
Yeah.
You have to be with them constantly. Sasa utaenda kazi ama utachunga mtoto. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Yes. So what helped us is we belonged to a church family. Okay. Now within the church, there are all age groups.
Yeah.
There are people who are working, people in school, people who are retired. So some of the retirees within the church would look after our kids, go and pick them from school,
Okay.
bring them home,
Yeah.
make sure they have something to eat, do homework, then we come in the evening.
Okay.
That is how we survived.
Yeah. There's no jokes here. You gotta work.
You have to. You have to.
And people back at home
Are waiting.
for something.
They're waiting.
Yes.
Yes. Because me, when I was coming here, Lynn, I was told that the minute you reach the airport, there are trees. Yeah, and on the trees, there's pounds, dollars. You pick the one you want. and
Wow.
you pick the one you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you can't get the tree,
Yes.
then people are just waiting for you to take you to jobs. Yes.
This is where manna
Yes.
from heaven
This is it,
pours.
a land flowing with milk and honey.
Then the opposite was also.
When you arrive here, you pay for everything. Everything. Everything.
Where?
Yes.
So people should stop.
Oh, yeah. You should stop putting pressure.
Let me tell you, I've seen people work,
Yeah.
but here I've seen people work
Yes.
hard.
Yes. Yes.
I've seen people work so hard.
Yes.
I'm like, when do these people rest?
Yes. And the pressure can get to you
Yes.
because you have pressure from home, you have
Yeah.
pressure from here, you have pressure from work, you have pressure, and you're isolated as well. So for us, we were lucky because we were part of a church family. But people who are not, they have a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and unless you find people to talk to,
Yeah.
churches to go to, unaweza ruka akili.
Unaweza ruka.
Easy.
You love it here?
I love it because it's my second home.
Yeah.
And my children are born here. But east or west,
Home is best.
home is best.
I know we have to get into your brother's story, but before that, what are some of the misconceptions people at home have about you guys here?
I think what they think is that even if you do just a little bit of work, you get
Money.
paid a lot of money.
Millions.
Yes. What they don't realize is that you're paid an hourly rate and it is taxed. And then you're paying rent, and then you're paying for this, you're paying for...
Yeah.
Yeah, food, petrol, council tax, service. There are some things I've never heard of. Council tax, service charge. What are those? Rates. All those things you're paying.
Yeah.
So the money is coming in, but the expenses are very high. So by the time we send money home, it is tumejifinya kabisa. It is a huge sacrifice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
So sometimes we don't tell these people enough, and sometimes even when you tell them, they don't understand. Yeah.
So unawaacha tu.
So unaacha tu, you do whatever you can.
Yes.
Yes.
And you love your job too?
I love it.
Yeah.
Yes, I love it. I love my job. Thank you.
Would you say you are still passionate about what you do here?
I am passionate about what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
But I love my side hustle more.
Working.
Yeah, side hustle, teaching the Bible.
Teaching the Bible.
Yeah.
Allow me, because there's a song I like listening to.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know it. I'll praise you in this storm. I'll praise you in this storm. And you have encountered a couple of storms your way.
Yes. Like
your brother, right?
Yes.
And you are still able to tell his story.
Yes.
And still praise God in the storm. I had a guest earlier, and she lost her son, and that was her only son. But it's like that made her faith stronger. Do we kind of get closer to God during the storms? Did you get close to God after your brother's incidents? Or were there moments where you also asked God, Manze, God ni nini? Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. I think the first question I ask God is it true? Could this be happening? Do you understand? Yeah. Could this be happening? Yeah. So the questions arise more than anything else. Even before you feel whether your faith has been shaken or not. It's the questions. And you want answers. And sometimes when you don't get the answers, that's when people start drawing away from God. People start pulling away because it's like, God, you're not telling me.
Talk to me.
Talk to me. You're not telling me. You're not answering me. Yeah. What we don't realize is that God doesn't owe you an explanation. He doesn't owe you an explanation. He owns you. Your life is on lease. Shika hii maisha, nikiitaka nitaichukua. So I've come for the life now. Lynn, give me back. What explanation are you looking for? Yeah?
Yet he's taken what's his.
That is his. He gave it to you. He's taken it.
Wow.
So while we are still breathing, we praise him. While we are still breathing, we are grateful. Okay?
Yeah.
Because at one point, he will take back his breath. Then he'll ask you, what did you do with the breath I gave you? What did you do with the breath I gave you? Yes. Okay? This is why I'm passionate about teaching people how to read the Bible. Lynn, unajua watu wanasoma Biblia ni kama, unajua dipstick, lucky dip. Have you heard of lucky dip? Hapa tukicheza tukicheza inaitwa charity sweepstake.
Yes.
There's one called lucky dip. Yani wewe sasa uchagui namba, unaingiza tu alafu computer inakuchagulia namba, wewe unatoa na namba.
Yeah.
People read the Bible like that. They open it and do a lucky dip. And then they shut it.
Yes.
Open it.
I feel like majority of us are victims.
Okay?
Yeah.
Now you would never do that to any literature. Any literature. Your shule, your novel, your history book, your science, your biology. You would never do that to any literature.
Or any research.
Any. And yet, for the biggest book in the entire world, the one that is changing people's lives, the one that you say is the most important in your life, you do a lucky dip. Okay?
Yeah.
So, there are 66 books. You have to read one book at a time.
Yeah.
And then you have to know what the books are about.
Yes.
That's why I'm passionate about it.
Yeah.
Now, those kinds of things help me to understand, even when my brother has passed away, I can look at God's plan and see that there is a plan. He is sovereign even over that death. He owes me no explanation. Okay? But I still have questions. Was he pushed? Or did he jump? Why did he have to die? He was so young. Lynn, he was the last born.
Talk to us about him
Okay.
and the events leading to
I will tell you about him first of all.
Yeah.
Now, Steve was born in 1978. Now, when he was born, my mother was very democratic.
Yeah.
So my mom gave us the option to select his name, a name for him. Okay? And there was a tussle. Because during that time, we had a boxer called Stephen Muchoki. Very good boxer. So we wanted to name him Stephen.
Yes.
After the Stephen Muchoki.
Yeah.
And then there was a runner called Henry Rono. So we named him Henry.
Yes.
So he's Stephen Henry. And then Mumbo is my grandpa.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's called Stephen Henry Mumbo. Yeah. So he's a Kikuyu, a Kalenjin, and a Luo.
Yeah.
Yes. So he belongs to all the communities.
Hey.
Yes.
Yes.
So when he was born, he was a very intelligent, very intelligent young man, and very wise at a very young age. Yeah. So even as a 3 years old, you could see he's very wise. He was the model son. Model son. Unajua, so, Lynn, you know, when kids reach around 16,
Yes.
they start
Hard-headed.
hard-headed.
Yeah.
Steve never did that.
Yeah, mpaka mzazi anauliza
Yeah.
huu ni mimi
Huyu ni
nilizaa
mimi.
kweli.
He never did that.
Yeah.
Steve never did that. He never did that. Yeye hakufanya hizo mambo za adolescence. Do you understand? So not only was he intelligent in class, he was wise in his decisions, and then he was obedient as well. All his life, Steve will always greet me with both hands. And I'm his brother. Okay? I'm his brother. So he has respect, intelligence,
Obedience.
You understand?
And very focused.
Very focused. Okay. Now, when he was in fourth form, my dad died. And Steve had just come home with eye problems, so we didn't want to disturb him, so we let him in school. So by the time he came back, he had already buried, okay?
Wow.
Okay, so that was the first shock in his life. And then he finished fourth form, went to university.
Yeah.
And this guy was so sharp when he was at uni. He's doing physics, chemistry, and maths, physics, and chemistry. Those kinds of things. Yes. The guy, he was so good that he won this prize. I don't know if it was the first or the second one in physics, and he was given 10,000 shillings. By that time I had lost my job because I was living with him.
Yeah.
My wife and I were living with him.
Okay.
He came. This is a university. This is a university guy. You would expect him to take that money and go and
rave. And use it accordingly. Yes.
The guy brought it to me and said, George, I noticed you've lost your job. I know you need this more than me. I said, no, Steve, why don't you buy a book or something? Buy books, buy something for yourself. He said, no, I have nothing to buy. You need it more than me. And he insisted. I told him, no, take even 2,000 on top of it. He refused. Lynn, he gave me the whole 10,000. And I paid my rent. Do you understand?
Yeah.
That is the kind of man we are talking about. You understand? So when he finished his university, and he was doing civil engineering, so he was on attachment or something. Yeah. So he went to Kisumu there, and he was working in a construction site, and he was just carrying the blocks like everyone else.
Wow.
He was that humble spirit, just carrying the blocks like everyone else. And people were, when I'm Sengenya, they're saying, look at these ones. They are going to university, they are coming here to carry blocks with us. Not knowing this guy, he has passed, he has petered vibaya sana. He's just on his attachment, just getting some work experience. Yeah. But he wants to start from the bottom. Do you understand? So when he came to Nairobi, he had options of either joining a civil engineering firm or something. Then this job came up at PwC. And he asked me, that time I was here. So he rang me. And he asked me, which one should I take? Should I continue with my civil engineering or should I take PwC? So I asked him, what are the options? What are the prospects of the civil engineering one? He told me it's not very quick. It might take a bit of time and stuff like that. And I told him, but PwC, I know PwC. If they can take you, okay? Study this, study that, look at this, look at that, look at balance sheets, look at that, look at this. So that's what he did. He went and looked at those things. Civil engineer,
Yes.
looked at those things, went for the interview.
And passed it.
Passed and joined. Wow. Okay. Now from there, Kasoma. So he was taking time off and Asoma, taking time off and Asoma. You understand? And it's just progressing. Just progressing. Just progressing. Yeah. So that is the kind of man he is. And all this time, he is still humble.
Yeah.
You can never hear Steve, shouting or arguing or doing anything like that. Still humble, helping widows at home, helping people who are disadvantaged.
Wow.
He's always the secretary of this organization, secretary of that. He's taking notes for this. You understand? Doing things with the community, stuff like that. You understand? Huh?
Yeah.
That's the kind of man he was. Okay. So by the time he entered management, I think they added pressure on him. So he was traveling. He got married. Okay, he got married. Now he has a wife. But he had to schedule time to be at home because of the travels. And the pressure was a lot. So there was one time when I think he had just come from a journey. I can't remember whether it was from South Africa or somewhere. And the pressure was too much for him. So he switched off his phone, got into the car, and drove all the way from Nairobi to Kisumu. And stayed there for 3 days without switching on his phone.
Wow.
Yeah.
Kisumu is home.
Kisumu is home. Yes.
And he switched his phone off. Was the pressure from work?
Yeah. Pressures from work. So I tried to ring him, couldn't ring him, so sent someone to go and talk to him. So I found him and I said, are you okay? Because I was worried about if he's okay. Because when our mom passed away, mom said, take care of Steve. Because he's the youngest. So take care of Steve. So when he used to live with me and stuff like that, I was taking care of him. Just the way you can take care of your own
son.
Yes. Okay. So when he talked to me, he said, George, I just couldn't take it anymore. I had reached my death. These people are not giving me time to rest.
He told you that?
Yeah. It's one deadline after another. And they're not fully staffed enough to do the job. So kazi ya watu wawili, tunafanya mtu mmoja, kazi ya watu wanne, mnafanya watu watatu. So that is pressure upon pressure, you understand? And I only learned this during his funeral when the clients were coming for the funeral. Each one was saying he used to carry our burden like it is his. When he comes to the company, he carries it as if it is his. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Because he was in business recovery at one point, helping businesses to recover. Anafanya kama yake. So when he settled a bit, I think he went back to Nairobi and I followed him up and he told me, they have checked me and they said that it's something to do with a mental issue. And he said it in passing just like that, Lynn. It's just something to do with mental issue. And I said, intelligent young man, prospects ahead of him. Yeah, when you're tired, rest. So we men are not equipped to deal with that information. What do you do with that information?
Pambana mzee. Kazana, bro.
Kazana. Niko hapa, kama unajisikia kuongea,
utanisho.
Just ring me. Yeah, I'm here. And we think just by saying that is good enough.
Yeah.
You understand?
Can I ask you?
Yeah.
looking back, when he just said it's a mental issue in passing, what do you think you should have done differently?
I think I would have stopped there and then dug deeper. Yeah, mental issue, yes, caused by how do you feel?
Do you want to take a break?
Do you want to take a break?
Do you want to come here?
Do you want to come here? Yeah. Do you want to take time off and just rest? Yeah. Can I come over and we talk about it? You understand?
Yeah.
So such things hit your mind. You understand? It's almost like, what could I have done? Could I have rang him? Could I have gone when he said that? You understand?
Yeah.
So we don't give it the seriousness that it deserves when you hear it being said in passing. So at one point he was seeing a psychiatrist, you know, and well, did you at job at work, but yet he wasn't given light duties. Do you understand what I mean? Yeah. So he's not given light duties. I wanajua, but sisi hatujui because he just said it in passing. Yeah. And because he's also the kind of person who doesn't want to burden anyone.
I read that somewhere,
Yeah.
or someone commented and said that he's not someone who would fight back. He would never want anyone to feel bad about themselves.
No.
He always took the blame for everything and took the burden away from everyone.
Steve, even if you're arguing about a point, he will tell you, George, that is the wrong answer. You know, but you see, I think it's the right answer. It's the wrong answer.
And then keep quiet.
And he will say like that and keep quiet. You understand? And when you do it later and you realize actually it was the wrong answer, then you ask him, why didn't you push and tell me? Na uniambie kabisa nisikie. Wow. But he would never push. Never push. Never. Yeah. Do you understand?
Yeah. So he's here. Say, tells you, man, I'm overwhelmed.
Yeah.
These people won't give me a break. How is his personal life? He was married by then.
He was married by then.
How was his personal life according to what he shared with you?
Yes. Yeah, so according to what he shared, he loved the lady.
Yeah.
He adored the lady. Yeah, he could do anything for the lady. You know, one thing that Steve used to do, Steve used to imitate what I do. You understand? He used to imitate what I do. So the way he sees me handling my wife is the way he used to handle his wife. You understand? Even up to the extent that the wedding dress I wore for my wedding, the gear I wore, it's an African attire. He also wore the same for his wedding.
You are his father figure.
Yes. You understand? Yeah. So he saw me adoring my wife. So he used to adore his wife as well. You understand? And for all intents and purposes, they were happily married.
Yeah.
But they didn't have a child. Nayo was a huge burden for him. It's a very huge burden for him. So they went for IVF, try and see if they can get a baby. They couldn't.
Yeah.
It was so expensive, and it's so vigorous, and it's so continuous, and
it's a process.
It's a process. And hope. You understand? So that was the kind of relationship he had with the wife. Yeah. So Lynn, even though, you know, you find after he passed away, people are writing very dirty things in social media, that she was seeing someone else, that he bought her a Land Rover. When he went to South Africa, came back, he found her with a Land Rover and seeing another guy. People wrote very bad things on social media.
About her.
Those things are not true.
I'm pretty sure she'll have you ever told her stop listening to what people are saying. We believe you. These things are, because I just feel like when someone passes and the people who are left behind have to deal with a lot, especially in the era of social media where people think they know things and they can easily make up a story and it will circulate everywhere. Did you ever call her? Did your family ever tell her, we know this is what people saying, but we know.
In fact, even my own pastor told me when I was about to travel, he told me, George, when you go home, protect her. Protect her. You understand? Protect her. Because she's vulnerable. And people are, at that point, you realize how people are callous. People don't care. People are not sensitive. Because this is a woman who has lost her husband. And this woman adored this man. She adored him. Alikuwa she would do anything for him. Anamwoshea mpaka socks anazipiga pasi. Do you understand? Then when they bring such kind of stories, it is very painful.
It's crazy. Walk me through the timelines, right? So he disappears for 3 days. And he completely switches off his phone for everyone, right? You reach out to him, he speaks kidogo. At what time did things escalate? And when did you find out that my brother is normal?
The time period is around 2 years. Okay, so when he said that, when that happened, is when I started saying, okay, there's something not right. This guy is under too much pressure. You understand? But I'm far. You understand? And unfortunately, in our family, we are also living in different parts
of the world.
Yes. So my brother is in Eldoret.
Okay.
That's our firstborn. My sister is in Muguga, which is Kikuyu. That's the secondborn. Then the thirdborn, I'm here. And the fourthborn is in Siaya.
Okay.
And the fifthborn was in Garissa. And then Steve is in Nairobi. So you see, we are a bit scattered in that sense. You understand? So, but he had family members around him, and he was continuing with life. On the family side and the social side, you could not tell, because he's still helping with the projects, stuff like that. But on the work side, you can see that he is struggling. So at one point, he said something like, "What do you think would happen if I was to leave this job?" Do you understand?
He told you that.
You understand? You're like, why would you leave the job? Why would you leave the job? Do you want to start a business or something? Yeah, you can start a business or something. I said, no, I'm just thinking, You understand? So those are the clues. You start realizing that there's some pressure. And then ukiongeza na hiyo kuzaa, again, that's another pressure. Do you understand? And probably, I'm suspecting he did not have anywhere he could vent. Okay? So, after around 1 year of constantly going, I was like, Steve, so how are things? He's like, things are okay. I'm now planning to adopt a child. We have now decided we are going to adopt a daughter. So we have started the process.
Okay.
So they started a process, which took a couple of months. And then they finally adopted the girl. I think that must have been mwezi wa Navy. So 2018, April. And I said, now he has a purpose now. He has something to live for. Okay? Then akajenga rentals nyumbani. So the guy is settling down nicely. Fence the home. Planting trees.
Ready.
So you can see that the guy is now doing well. He's now calming down.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So apart from that, we're just communicating by WhatsApp because, he has all the reason to
be busy.
Yeah, to be busy. Then I get a call from Canada, from a cousin of mine in Canada. And she says to me, George, have you checked social media? So, no, for what? I think something has happened to Steve. I'm like, what do you mean something has happened to Steve? No, someone has died from PwC, and we think it's Steve. So why do you think it's him? Do you understand? No. You try and find out. Ring and find out. So I ring his phone actually. I ring his phone and he doesn't pick up. And because we had this relationship, but we always used to joke with each other. So I'm joking. I'm telling him, "Hey Steve, if it is you who has jumped there, don't jump. Usifanye kitu kama hiyo. Yeah, we nipigie so that we put everyone's mind at rest."
You can now send money to Kenya at great rates and with zero transfer fees. Trust TapTap for convenient, safe and fast transactions to M-Pesa and to Kenyan bank accounts. Download today and get a bonus on your first transfer.
And that's the kind of message I leave for him. Then I call the wife doesn't pick up. Call my sister doesn't pick up. Then my alarm sets. Something is not right. Do you understand? Something is not right. So at my place of work, we have a Christian. You know, in the UK, you're not allowed to pray in the office.
Really?
You're not.
Really?
No, you're not. So I called this guy in Kambenani, Ebu come. So we went into one of the meeting rooms and I told him, I think this has happened. I think this has happened. And we immediately shut the door and we prayed. Hatukujali Lynn, we're going to break the law. This hour, tutaomba. And we prayed. So when I came out from the office, my boss was very supportive. She said, "Do you want us to drive you home?" I said, "You can't drive me home because I drove to work. So if you drive me home, what will I do with my car? No, let me just drive home." So when I'm driving home and then it just hit me, Lynn, I've lost my brother. My brother has just died. Just like that. Just like that, Lynn. And huyu ndio wa mwisho. Do you understand? The one who he has no quarrel with anyone. Who did what to this guy? Who did what?
Yeah.
Because the Steve I know wouldn't just jump. Why would he just jump? He has everything to live for.
He just adopted a child.
He's just adopted a beautiful young girl. Amefanya vitu nyumbani. That weekend he had a meeting Ushago with our aunties. That weekend. So Lynn, I was driving and it has never happened to me. I was driving and screaming in the car. Wailing in the car. I don't even know kabla nilifika nyumbani. I think I was just on autopilot. Yeah. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So now I had to break the news to my family. Yeah. And every one of them was saying, not Uncle Steve. Uncle Steve wouldn't kill himself. My daughter said he's too intelligent for that. He's too intelligent for that. That time my son was in St. Mary's Yala. Maseno Boys. So when I went to pick him up and I told him Uncle Steve has died, he said, no, someone has killed him. He said, someone has killed him. He can't just kill himself. He has no reason to. Why would he kill himself? Do you understand? So even as we started asking the questions, someone who wants to die. Why do they go to the office, schedule a meeting, book a room upstairs? Why would they do that? Why would they make plans for the weekend? Why would they do that? Do you understand?
Yeah.
That's why we started suspecting, is there a foul play? Ama alisukumwa. Ama alisukumwa. Because the reports he was going to give on that day, there was a major report he was going to give that day.
He was in forensic.
He was in forensic.
He was an auditor.
Yes.
Had he talked to you about the report he was working on?
He had talked to my sister about it.
What did he say?
He said there are some names that are going to be mentioned.
Some people are not going to be happy.
Yeah. There was a time they were working in Uganda.
Yeah.
Probably a couple of months before that, and forensic as well. And my cousin is in Uganda. And when they came from the company and came back to the hotel, he told my cousin, we can't stay in this hotel anymore. We're in danger. And he had to book the next flight to come back to Nairobi from Kampala. Now the question is, someone who wants to kill themselves, why are they running away from someone who wants to injure them? Are you seeing, Lynn?
Yeah.
So,
because if I'm gonna kill myself, so you just make it easier.
yeah,
you
I just
kill
wait for you.
me.
Yeah, you just come and
I go down that way, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. So those are the things that bring some question marks
to your family.
Yes.
Who concluded this was suicide?
I don't know. I don't know. Because we told the police to investigate. And we told them to take fingerprints of that room. And the police went and took fingerprints and came and said, we didn't find any fingerprint. Okay,
so he
Lynn,
did not find his
Lynn,
fingerprints?
You didn't find any fingerprint there? Hata yake.
Okay, hakukuwa kumeoshwa kukapanguzwa ama
hata yake. Tuseme hata amejirusha, Lynn.
hata ya
si lazima ushike
ufungue
dirisha ushike upande. Hata yake. So when you hear such kind of things, you're like,
but also the room must have been cleaned by someone.
Why are you cleaning the room? This is suicide is usually a police case.
No, I'm saying the staff, someone must, because it's a room, it needs to be tidy. There should have been a couple of fingerprints in the room. A cleaner, your brother.
Even besides that, Lynn, hiyo ni police case. You understand? That area now
is a crime scene.
Until otherwise. You understand? And anyone who goes into that room as well, si amegusa vitu.
Yeah.
Where are the fingerprints? Okay?
The company's findings, because this is not just any other company we are talking about. This is a mega company.
Yeah.
They must have also conducted their own investigation. He had worked there for 13 years.
Yes.
This is an asset.
And he was a manager as well.
And he was a manager.
Yeah.
This is an asset.
Yeah.
We want to know if really he jumped or someone did anything to him. Did they conduct any investigation? And what were the findings?
I'm not aware. Not aware. All they did, they checked the CCTV and they said they cannot see anybody, you know, any foreign person there.
Did the room where he was, did it have a camera?
Not within the room. I don't think, not within the room.
Okay.
It's only in the corridors.
Yeah. So how I'm struggling with how did they conclude he jumped? What showed that he jumped? A window being open means someone jumped?
And someone who, when he downstairs, he has left his laptop and said, hey, okay, I'm going upstairs. Here's my laptop. Just hang on to that. Hang on to my phone. I'm coming back. And then he goes. Do you see why we have those questions?
Yeah. What did the police findings state?
Nothing. We are still waiting. I have no clue.
You've never received any reports?
No.
Was the case closed?
We have no clue. I have no idea.
Hamjui?
Hatujui.
Do you follow up?
I don't know if there's anyone following up. Yeah.
How about the wife?
She's not saying anything. Just for us, we were giving her time to
Grieve.
Yeah, because we didn't want to put pressure on her. Yeah.
She's still in the grieving.
Yeah.
What other questions do you have?
I think that's the major one.
Yeah.
The other one is, if you gave this guy work and you saw an episode that showed you that he's mentally struggling, why did you not take any action? Yeah, he has shown you that he is struggling with the workload, and it's evident, and you can see he's going for medical. Why don't you take any action? Why would you keep pushing him? And if you're pushing him, why don't you take responsibility then? If indeed he jumped because of pressure, why don't you take responsibility then?
Let's go to that part, because was he compensated? Because I know suicide is not compensated in many, I don't even know if there is someone who is insured, matter suicide alleged again, because you as a family,
Yes.
you have different views.
Yeah.
But did the company see it with any of your people? Did they cater for anything, compensate here and there?
I'm not sure about compensation.
Yeah.
All we saw was they were involved during the funeral. Yeah, during the funeral they took care of the body. They brought it home. But in terms of compensation for the wife and the daughter, I'm not aware.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know.
I wouldn't know. Yeah.
How is the relationship between you guys now and the wife?
There's been a rift. Do you understand? There's been a rift because people grieve differently.
Yeah.
So she feels that she's grieving more than we are. Okay, she's grieving more than we are. She's saying, I've lost my husband. I've also lost my brother. Okay. So you find that there's a rift, and because she's still closed like that, we have to give her time, in her own time, when she's ready. Yeah. So it's literally just frozen. It's almost like it's on ice. The relationship is on ice.
Yeah.
Just waiting until she'll be ready to
when
up.
she's ready.
When
and
she's
that's important.
Yeah.
This is a very good photo of him. Serious.
Yes. Yeah. So that is him when he was going to work. He was always that smartly dressed.
Yeah.
And so this is the book we were using to collect funds, because when he passed away, as I was telling you here, people assume you have lots of money. Yeah, but when he passed away, I could barely get airfare for me, and all my kids said, "We have to go. You are not leaving us behind.
We gotta go.
Uncle Steve, we have to go." And that is airfare that is almost like $500,000.
Yeah.
You understand?
So that's a lot.
It's a lot.
That's a lot.
It's a lot.
We also have some few photos here.
Yes. So this was during my wedding.
Oh.
This was during my wedding. He was still in uni.
Oh.
And when he came to my house, all he had were uni clothes. So I gave him.
This is your blazer?
Yeah, I gave him my blazer. How did you know?
You can't make this stuff up. This is your blazer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I
Yeah.
gave him my turtleneck and I
Yes.
gave him my blazer.
Who is the lovely lady?
That is my sister.
Okay.
Yes. So she's following me.
Yeah.
And then there's a brother
Yes.
in between the two of them.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's lovely. So
Okay.
this
So
must be
that's my
now
wedding.
you.
That's my wedding.
Oh.
So that's me.
Yes.
That's my wife.
Lovely.
That's my mom.
This is mom.
Yeah.
Oh.
And that's my sister. So that is the firstborn.
Yes.
That is the secondborn.
Yeah.
Lily.
Yeah.
So husband is the firstborn. Lily is the secondborn.
And you're the third, the
I'm
third
the
born.
thirdborn.
And then this sister
Yeah,
here
Rose is the fourth born. Then there's another one called Manasseh.
And then him.
And then Steve is the last one.
Yes, looking very
Yeah.
sharp
So
here.
this, yes.
In your blazer.
Yes.
Yes.
And he was simple like that.
Hey.
He was very simple. Very
Yeah.
simple.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Wow.
mm,
These photos must be special to you.
they are very special. Yeah, they're very, very special.
Yeah.
Because I see him as he was. Pure, gentle, authentic. Yeah.
Now let's talk about social media.
Yes.
Because this was like a nationwide case, and as you said, some people said pretty mean things
Yes.
about, I remember. I just think some of them were really stupid, you know.
Yeah.
How would you caution people, especially when it comes to such matters?
Yeah.
What should they highly consider?
I think the very first thing that they need to consider is that this is someone's child. Someone has lost their child. Someone has lost a human being. They have lost a person, a brother. The other one has lost a husband. Yeah,
The daughter has lost the father.
the father. So be human. Kuwa na utu. Okay? Don't be quick to post.
Yeah.
If you've not verified it, don't post it.
If you've not verified it,
Don't post it.
Don't post
Don't.
it.
Because someone they're saying, oh, I was in the room when he was jumping. He was, you know.
He was in the room.
Some people are saying those kind of things. I was in the room when he jumped, and you're saying, help me. You know, I'm thinking to myself, why would you say something like that? You don't even work in PwC.
And you were in the room.
You were in the room.
And he was saying, help
Yes.
me. So he was going down saying, help me, help me. But you were in the room, so you catch the sound.
So please, 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 social media, know that there are human beings behind these incidences. Be sensitive. Be sensitive.
Be sensitive.
Be sensitive.
What do you remember him for?
Oh, wow, gosh. I think Steve was cheeky. Okay.
Okay, you know you too, though. I think he had a good role model there.
Yeah, he was cheeky.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steve was very cheeky.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I remember his cheekiness.
Yes.
So sometimes he would come and let's say if I'm sitting down and I'm eating chips and sausage, and you'd be like, that sausage, I think there are two. No, Steve is one. No, and then he breaks it. No, there are two. You know, something like that. And that would be his excuse for eating one.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yes.
He was very cheeky in that way. So I always remember him as someone who is cheeky, someone who is honest, yeah, someone who is straightforward. Yeah. Steve would always be upfront with you. You understand? And his heart was pure. Lynn, mimi niko ngambo, Steve yuko Kenya. He rings me. He doesn't flash me. Okay, he rings me, and then he talks with me, and then he tells me, George, listen, I'm just about to do something here. Could you lend me some 20,000? Okay, and then when he pays me the 20,000, he pays me with interest.
Wow. Beautiful.
Lynn, when you are ngambo, anyone borrows money from you,
they don't pay back.
They get amnesia.
They don't.
Selective amnesia. Wanasahau.
Ati tiniliomba.
Pesa. Yes, pesa, yes, ile, yes. Do you understand? You understand?
Aiye, watu wa diaspora mnajioneanga.
Yes.
Si maisha London?
Yes. Yes. So he would do that. He would pay me with interest.
Oh, wow.
Do you understand?
Yes.
So even when I left, me nilimwachia my post office box, left my everything, even my title deed, kona mwachia tu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he was honest.
He was honest.
Yeah.
You understand?
And with no fear of contradiction.
No.
You say you don't believe your brother committed suicide.
I have questions. Big questions. Unsatisfied. Yeah. Yeah. I have big questions. Yeah.
And I hope we get some answers.
Yes. And they need to be answered. Yeah. They need to be answered.
Because I don't know if it's too many movies I've watched. So, because everyone right now is dealing with a couple of mental issues.
Yeah.
It's no lie. It's no shame.
Yeah.
By the way, you become so overwhelmed and you have, you know, these breakdowns and stuff. I don't know if it's because I've watched so many movies where if there's a history of a mental issue, then even if people say he committed suicide, that's what will easily pass. Because guys, do you remember that time when he broke down? He had a mental issue. So, see, he just jumped. You get it? I just feel like we have such crazy views about kama tunachukulia hiyo ugonjwa ka jokes. Unaona, na ni kama tumeiweka nika ugonjwa ya wenda wazimu. So hata mtu kitu imfanyikia hapo mbele, the society, because I'm thinking such a big company, this is something we should have answers for. But because we can go back and trace it into something, then it becomes a weak case.
Then we shut it.
We shut it.
Sema ni hiyo.
Yes.
But we don't see he was dealing with very sensitive information. Yeah.
And maybe
which were risky.
Unfortunately, if someone did this to him, they knew they would always go back and
Yeah.
quote
Yeah.
what had happened to him.
Yeah.
But I'm very sorry for your loss.
No, thank you.
Why was it important for you to speak out?
Lynn, to be honest, I've never told anyone about this. I've never really spoken about this, honestly, from my heart.
And thank you for trusting me with it.
Yeah. So I felt I was ready.
Yeah.
And God brought you to me so that I can speak this, everything in my heart.
Yes.
Yeah. And also to help those people who are going under mental pressure, mental stress.
Yeah.
Usichukulie rahisi. Usichukulie rahisi. Yeah. This thing is real. There's no shame in it. It is dangerous. It needs to be addressed. You need to find your support system, and you need to open your heart, open up. And especially sisi wanaume. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Yeah, because some things, I realized some things after he had died. I didn't know hii mambo ya mtoto ilikuwa na, it was such a heavy mental thing. Even after he had his own child, but he's still at the back of his mind. I didn't know such kind of things. Do you understand? Do you understand? But he wasn't saying, and yet I'm his confidant. You understand? But Asemi, Asemi actually, he didn't say in black and white, hey George, actually this is a mental issue and I'm struggling with it and I need help.
Yeah.
You understand? Akusema.
Akusema.
So I would urge everyone, please don't let it reach there. Usiwache ifike hapo. Speak.
Speak. And there's no shame in it.
Man, there's no shame. Speak. Yeah. Speak. Life is better. Hata kama utaibika, being alive is better than being ashamed. Do you understand?
Being alive is better than being ashamed.
Yeah.
That's deep.
Yeah.
I want to wind up, but before I do, is there anything you think we should have touched on that we did not touch on? And I can't undermine the fact that this show gets watched by a lot of people. So if anyone also is out there and might have some few clues here and here of what happened to your brother, whether he died of suicide or it was a foul play, what would you want to tell them?
I think consider us as a family, because we are having a burden that we cannot release.
Yeah.
So if you know something, come out and tell us, help us to offload this burden. Yeah. When you get an answer, you find peace. You find closure.
You're still looking for closure?
I'm still looking for closure. Yeah. So if they can, you can give them your contacts or something, if they can contact you and give information, even if it's anonymous.
Do you have an email, personally?
Yes, I do have an email.
Would you be comfortable with an email?
Yes.
Okay, please feel free.
Yeah. Yeah, so you can email me in case you want to do it confidentially.
Yeah.
Waore2000@gmail.com.
Yeah.
And just email me with any information you have.
You have.
Yeah, so Waore2000
Yeah.
at gmail.com.
Yeah. And I know we never say enough to our loved ones. I don't know how the world works, but I know it really works. So is there anything you really wanted to have told your brother and you never did? And what would it be?
I think the biggest thing I would want to tell him is, Steve, I'm here for you.
Still.
I'm here for you. It doesn't matter what it is. I'm here for you. I was there for you when you were in school, when you were in uni, when you started looking for work, when you found a wife, when you continued with work. I am here for you. You don't have to give up. No.
And we never say goodbye.
No.
We never say goodbye. Thank you.
Lynn, thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to speak and to air my views. When all is said and done, it is my faith in God that has kept me. I'm a born-again Christian, and I have a church family. So even when you look through this book, when we are fundraising for our travel, the church contributed 95%.
Wow.
And they contributed almost 400,000.
Wow.
400,000 Kenya shillings. So we only had to top it up.
Yeah.
Lynn, something happened that I've never seen in my entire life. When we set up the WhatsApp group for Steve, Lynn missed sijawahi ona WhatsApp group inafikisha milioni. Wewe umeona? 1.5 million. That tells you the kind of person he was.
He was loved.
He was loved.
Because he loved.
Because he loved and gave himself.
Yeah.
He gave himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, so again, I would like this to be his legacy. This to be his legacy.
Yeah.
Give yourself to each other. Love one another sacrificially. Kwa sisi wa Kristo tunasema, Jesus gave his life for us. So that we can give our lives for each other.
Yes. I love that. I love that. Yeah. Should we wind up?
Yes, please.
We can.
Yes,
Thank you so much for coming, for even deeming us worth to tell this story. I don't take it for granted that you felt like opening up and you decided, Lynn, it's time. I'm not special. This platform is not special in any way, but I believe together.
Kwa sure kuniwekea kitu hapa.
Bro, hapana.
Kwa sababu nimeongea mpaka nashindwa. Mbona unaongea hata zile vitu sijawahi sema?
Can I tell you the truth though? Can I tell you the truth? People say that. Hakuna bro. Hata nikunywe ndio wana.
Sasa kwa kusema mavitu hapa.
I just want to have my coffee. So but unajua by the way wase usema hivyo. Mimi nilikaa tu na Lynn nikajipata nasema vitu hata sikuwahi sema. Hiyo inaitwa nini? Inaitwa grace. It's a gift by grace through faith. Sini kweli. So thank you. And his legacy lives on. Such a young, intelligent, focused, honest man. That's how he will be.
He's a model. He's a model brother.
As I was doing my background check, I was like, how intelligent can one human? He went to this high school. What's the name?
Yes, St. Paul's and Mukura.
Yes. And I think even during his send-off, many of the people from his school and uni were there, and people had great things to say about him. And that's what we want. We want people to continue remembering him that way. And because I'm a huge believer that nothing is a coincidence. If he died of suicide, may his soul rest in peace. And deep down, he knew he was loved. If this was a foul play, you will find the answers you are looking for. Because the truth cannot stay hidden for so long. It needs to break. And it will find you. May justice prevail. Above all, thank you for being so vulnerable and even for letting us in your family's story, especially Steve Henry. So we will, we will remember him as the man who dared to dream. Not the man who jumped, but the man who dared to dream. And I hope our audience can join us in remembering him that way. But even as we wind up, I want to pose a challenge to everyone that's watching. We don't know what tomorrow holds. We don't even know what the next second of our life holds. So if there's anyone you've been craving to talk to, and you know your differences and pride and ego and lack of time has constantly pushed you from doing it, just take like 30 seconds right now and say, I'm here for you. Just as George has said to the brother, he is here for him. He was there for him, and he will always be there for him. So if there's someone that you've been trying to avoid, just take your phone or whichever way you guys communicate and just say a simple hello or I'm here for you. May Steve's soul rest in peace, and I hope even from this story, as we continue engaging in social platforms, we can all pick our lessons. Let's be kind. There's nothing to celebrate. There's nothing to rejoice. There's nothing to lie about. If you don't know anything, if you are not there, stop saying you are there just for the fun of it. A family is involved, a wife is involved, a daughter is involved. Just be kind. And thank you also to those people who continue impacting lives. You guys, we've walked a journey, and I love the kind of platform that we are creating together. Thank you so much. And of course, if you want to communicate to George, or if you know anything, his email is right here on the screen, or you can also contact me. My email is also right here on the screen. Let me know, and I'll forward your message to George and his family. Thank you for tuning in, and to the people who have made these episodes happen, our amazing sponsors, Tap Send here in the UK, and our incredible guest, my lovely sister, Lydia Tet Olet. Lydia says, Lynn, I'm gonna give you your flowers when you're still alive. And we've continued to experience beautiful, beautiful moments together. So I don't take you for granted. And to my amazing team here and back at home, I do not take your support for granted. My name is Lynn Ngugi. Till next time, bye-bye. Be kinder.